The anatomy of a successful IoT product or a solution is analogous to a healthy human body. As we humans try to survive for the decades and we strive to be healthy, fit, that all the functionality of our human body, all the organs work properly. Similarly, there is a need to work on the IoT system that can survive not only for this decade but decades to come, many decades in future. That the stability of an technology, the industry ruling technology in an IoT system, the heart of the ecosystem is hardware. One can easily get into a trap of developing the hardware with multiple interfaces that have multiple applications. With this, the cost of hardware increases. To fulfill those developing model, multiple interfaces incorporate. It makes those applications much more costlier. And as the heart of the ecosystem is basically mainly hardware, so you have to main focus on this developing these sections. The generic hardware with multiple applications, though it's a good for a pilot project, is not a viable for a product targeting a specific use cases. Once the application is decided, optimize those hardware with minimal interfaces that can be easy to use, easy to handle, easy to manage, and it's a long-lasting procedure. And also, the cost can be brought down. It's a way of cost-cutting technology. You can say that. Once the cost is brought down, the adoption increases, and we can get into a circle of demand and supply chain management. It is necessary to think about those implicit requirements. An asset with a GPS might take 2 to 3 months to develop from the software side, and there is a high chance of failure if the following things are not taken care of: the hardware watchdogs, the device management, and the edge algorithm for the processing on cloud platform, firmware, over the air application, and the reduction of the cost, the IP rating to sustain in the field of environment and the power management. The time to market that will drastically reduced if all these aspects are taken in mind, and this from day one of the development. That's a main focus, how to implement those strategy, how to make those things much more used to for the developer, that they can work, they can develop these products according to this industry demand, according to the best of result, we can say that. And this aspect can also be applicable in those multiple generates and to have the hardware to be created in this IoT industry. Once the hardware has been developed, it is important to ensure that the data flow from and to the hardware and the processed the message to the cloud system, the workflow and the data flow has been generated. There has been various protocol for the data transfer. Because of various proprietary technologies that is integrated, one must start working those protocol and manage those libraries for further use. And this edge analytics on the device can process the data and can send it to the cloud platform. There are multiple cloud technologies available, and one of the most interesting from the perspective of a developer is a narrowband IoT application. It is a technology that you might look out as it's going to revolutionize the way data transfers reliably from the hardware to the cloud platform. The high power consumptions and the high infrastructure and the maintenance cost, the security vulnerability due to unlicensed spectrum and the shared resources among the large pool of devices, these challenges have blocked the system of IoT applications, and this can be with these open technologies for a deep indoor penetration to reach the most difficult areas. High security coexistence with future technologies, collaboration with those future technologies that make those life easier, more useful, time saving, cost effective, all these advantages of these future technologies. The purpose of evolving and developing those future technologies. No upfront infrastructure cost, the high quality of the services, low recurring cost, and the non-IP data delivery to reduce the payload that can help to maintain those infrastructures. The cloud services are necessary for many startups that need a sustainable way to bootstrap their operations and achieve their planned growth rate. The many promising business entities that have complicated billing issues that drain their funding. The upfront cloud access for everyone, that the Amazon Web Service also, the personal credit cards and other accounts. If someone leaves for a server running by accident, the startup gets featured on high traffic blogs or a hacker compromises the system. The dealing with the financial damages for a month afterwards, and some founder may shy away from beginning their business due to hearing these stories. This infrastructure cost for the upfront side at the initial, and the cost is incurred for the initial stage, and the sum of money is owned for a purchase for business entities, and those various costs have been generated for a sheer volume of cloud vendors. For a great variety and the healthy competition is generated, and that can make those costs, and a company gets of dozens of invoices, but many services in each month they are faced. The services are available for the subscription management. They are typically geared toward the enterprise level business, and the startup would end up with a bigger problem which you started with. And there are many other also critical aspects that often neglected. Most of the startups and ventures focused on the hardware and the platform, and these installation and after-sale services are left aside, and one needs to lend ears to customer feedback and give the good result after the sales services. The device architecture is also one of the most important aspects of the IoT solution. Many startups nowadays are proficient at these technologies, the device management, which are very crucial, and the security of those primary aspects, which must be taken care of the day to succeed in the long run. And the architecture of the solution you build must support all this, and the horizontal platform that do these things for you, and these are available for the first few years, and building your own technology applications that could may be very expensive when they are actually ready to adopt this technology, but its application is available, and existing those technologies will help to create those, fulfill those demands. And the attention to each aspect in this detail that will ensure the solutions that do not remain in the lab, but good enough to use by the masses, the customers, and it would work for years to come. You may work with those other ventures, but you have to adequate in-house support for the installation. That's all for now. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.